Happy first Sunday of Advent and new liturgical year. It is time to dust off your wreaths and to turn on those Christmas lights that are probably still on your house since last year. If you haven't already, I pray that you will take time to pray with today's readings. Ask the Holy Spirit to fill your heart with His love, to fill your life with His love. One of the most beautiful parts of today's readings that I found in my prayer is in the second reading when St. Paul tells the Romans to put on the armor of light. And this phrase kind of stuck out to me, and I was asking the Lord why. And so I was looking into the armor of light, and the church fathers described the armor of light as virtue. So they read this passage as St. Paul telling the Romans to turn away from their works of darkness, their sin, and to live a life of virtue. And then when a few verses later St. Paul says to put on Jesus Christ, Christosum says, because Christ is all virtue. In the Old Testament, light is also a symbol of purity and holiness. God is described as being pure and holy. In Him there is no darkness. He is pure light. So the Israelites encounter a problem in Torah. How can they, who are so other, so full of sin, come to approach God? Well, God comes to dwell among them in the tabernacle and in the Mosaic law. It bridges the gap. The obedience to law gives them life. John, in his gospel, St. John, uses the same word for tabernacle to say that the Word was made flesh and dwells among us, or tabernacles among us. He's saying that Jesus is the way in which we can come to approach God. Jesus is the fulfillment of the law and the way in which we can have life. So in my prayer, as I was envisioning putting on the armor of light and I was reaching out, I realized that I was in darkness, and this makes sense. Because in order to have life like the Israelites, we must first acknowledge that we're in sin. We must acknowledge our darkness so that we can turn from it. We can practice virtue and allow ourselves to be completely transformed by this light who is Jesus Christ. This is the love that we are called to dwell in the Trinity. The love that we are called to be fully clothed in, to be our lives completely penetrated by. There is nothing compared to this love that is desiring to be born for us at Christmas in every moment of our lives, because our home is not in this world, our home is in heaven. As Christosum says, we are given the King Himself as a garment. This is His gift to us. So he says, be persuaded then, and rousing you from sleep, put Him on, and when you have done so, give your flesh up to His bridle. What a hope we are given as we light this first purple candle today and we prepare ourselves for Christ's coming and as we climb this mountain of the Lord.